Hi, I'm just checking, making sure we're good to go. So we'll start in a few minutes. Doing the resin demo here with Art Central. Trying to see if my puppy will behave. All right, Pi, you can stay right there. Let's see. Hi. Hello. Let me tap this thing. When is she? Bye. All right. That gives me 1 minute to put my dog upstairs. Hi, I can't do that. Can you go outside? Go ahead. No barking. No. Hi, everyone. I'll put a couple of things on the table that I made, maybe. We're gonna make some pieces to some sun catchers that I made. This is one of them. They're really nice to hang in the window, to hang in the garden. Today we're actually going to be working on some irregular size pieces, so I can show you one of those. These are going to be some made from the molds that I make, and I'll show you how I do that today as well, really quickly. It's not a big deal. All right, so we'll get those out of the way. Have like 1 more minute and then we'll start. All right, dog is situated. All right, let's see. Bye, everybody. All right, it's 2 o'clock. Welcome to Resin Art Demo with Hasna Jones, that's me, and Art Central. Pretty cool that Art Central is featuring local artists this month. I've actually seen a lot of these demos and I've really, really enjoyed them. So hopefully you'll enjoy this one as well. All right. So we're going to be pouring some resin here to make some sun catchers that I make. I just showed some a few minutes ago. I'll show some more again. I'm going to show you some of the supplies that I have here. I think that I'll bend down as much as I can, but while I'm working, I think you're really going to want to see this. So if you don't see my head, that's all right. Nothing really major is going on there. All right, here we have our resin. Art Central sells this really nice GDO, PBO resin. They have glazing resin, casting resin. They also have other brands. Different kind of brands use different mixing ratios. I like to go with the 1-in-1, less math. So here I have my resin. We'll put that to the side. This side. Some other things that I use, obviously, pinata paints. We're gonna love these, and at Art Central with the coupon code Hasna, Hasna, you get 30% off pinata paints till the 25th of this month. So go there and check them out. They're really, really awesome alcohol ink paints. And I use them to color the resin and also to drop in and really make some magic happen. So I'm gonna pick out some colors here that we're gonna use. We're gonna make about 4 colors. And then I'm gonna do one like drop straight into the mold. So we're gonna work with like some purples. I'm gonna do a white, a coral. I mix a lot of the colors, and blue. I can't stay away from blue. It's the ocean vibes. So these are gonna be where we pour our resin. I'm gonna tell you guys a little about me and how I got into this, but we have to mix our resin for 5 minutes, so I figure we can jump right in and then I'll tell you about some other stuff then. So I've got my pinata paints ready here to dye my resin. Some other things I use are these Pearl EX powder pigments. I absolutely love them. They give a different kind of weight to the resin so that it really spreads differently throughout. It acts a little different within the alcohol ink with the powdered pigment, so I like mixing those two. When you apply some heat to that, they really like move together in a really cool way. Some other things I'm going to use are some gold foils, copper colored foil, and silver. Let's see. I have some molds here for beads. I like to put beads in between my wind chimes, so when I have some extra resin, I just pour it in and make some beads. I also really like using these PBO prism paints. They have special effect paints, and they're for glass and a lot of really slick surfaces, so they paint on the resin really well and kind of come out to do these special effects. Actually, I have something here, a finished piece, a little disc that I made. Maybe if I bring it up really close, you can kind of see the honeycomb effect of the paint in the resin. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So that's actually how the paint comes out. It's pretty cool. Let me see. Right. So there we go. All right. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and pour our resin in. So we're gonna talk about the safety precautions. I'm gonna definitely use gloves. I'm in a well-ventilated area. You want to have a lot of air, maybe a window open, a fan. This resin has a very low odor, but some of them can be very, very smelly, so you want to make sure that you're in a ventilated area. Also, can definitely wear a mask. I would suggest when you're working with it to wear a mask. I'm using some low odor resin so that I don't have to wear the mask, so that you can understand me. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put my gloves on here. Other things that I have on the table here is my heat gun. Once I pour the resin into the mold, I'm gonna use the heat gun to extract some of the bubbles out and kind of smooth it out. It also helps the color to spread out a little bit. You can kind of use it as a tool in your art when you're directing the different color resins together. And then this is my beloved Dremel. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have one of those, so I use that when I pop these molds out. I like to really clean up my edges and make them nice and soft, so I usually file them down. All right, so we're going to pour in this resin. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in. This is the part B, the hardener. It's a little bit more fluid than the resin itself. And I'm just going to try to get it all out of there. I use a Tupperware container. As much things as you can use that are recyclable, you want to go that route, because otherwise I'd be using tons of plastic cups. I'm using these for our demo today, but usually I use reusable silicone bowls. I wanted to use these so you guys can see the colors. With the silicone bowls, it's pretty cool because once you mix the resin, you can kind of crack it and just crack it out, and then it's fresh to use again for the next time. Same with this Tupperware that I'm mixing in. I just reuse it. Once the resin's dry, it's good to go. So I've got my resin in here. I'm just going to try to scrape as much as I can from the sides and the bottom so I have an even amount of both parts. And then I'm going to start to stir. When you're stirring your resin, actually, the trick is to stir as slow as you can, which is super hard because I'm always so very excited. I want to be like, "Argh!" Usually at some point I do, but it's best if you don't. And here's when I'm also going to start timing it for 5 minutes. I really like to mix it. Different resin brands have different times. I would suggest to really follow the time because it gets to be a certain, really it changes throughout the mixing period, and at 5 minutes, even at 4.5 minutes, it's not ready. 5 minutes, it's clear, it's a little bit more liquid, and it's ready to pour and mix. While I mix this, I'll tell you a little about myself. My name is Hasna. I'm from the East Coast. I moved here from Maryland, very close to Washington, D.C., about 3.5 years ago. I'm a henna artist, and I came to really do some henna and body art on the Central Coast. So I've been doing that, and that was pretty cool until this pandemic happened. And then I really didn't get to adorn people that much anymore. So during one of my many craft days here at my home, I discovered resin, and I really fell in love with it. It allowed me to really express my creative side again and have something. I love making things, so I really loved doing body art, but there was no aspect of it that I could really keep. So having some keepsakes of the things I make is really, really fun. So you see, I'm still mixing here. We have some bubbles in here. But that's okay. That's going to happen. Not a lot, because I'm really trying to mix slowly. While I mix, I'm also going to show you the molds. So relaxing to mix it. I'm going to use today a pre-made mold. You can buy these on Amazon. They have some molds at Michael's, but they have a lot on Amazon. And I make my molds. I quickly got bored with the pre-made molds. If you know me, you know I like original things. So I started making my own molds. This is a mold that I made. I just use silicone caulk and a poster board that I cover with shipping tape. I started with silicone mats, and those work great, except for I found that the caulk did not come off of it. So it was like I had to do the same design over and over again, and that got boring. So I switched to the paper because it's pretty inexpensive and you can make your own molds without spending a lot of money. I mean, I can use them, I can reuse them. You can bend it very easily. The resin pops right out. I can create my own shapes, and they pretty much cost about $1 each. So it's it's not bad if you have to throw it away and make something new. All right, so we're still mixing here. I'm thinking about some colors that we want to make. Like I said, I'm going to go with some blue, a coral pink, maybe something white or gold. Actually, I'm just going to do gold. I'm not going to do white. This is how I think about it. So I want to show you guys this powder pigment. So we'll do that in the gold. And then we'll do some purple. Maybe we'll put a little white in the purple. All right, that'll be super. And then also we're gonna pour some off that's clear so we can play around with it in this little mold right here. And you guys can see what happens with that. All right, so I'm checking my watch here. Have about 1 more minute. I have here my mixing sticks. I'm just going to drop one of these in each one of those. And I'm going to do a little foil. I like to mix that with the clear resin. So I'm just going to drop a couple of pieces in there. I like to do that before because this foil can be a little bit tricky, let's just say. So it's better to deal with it when everything's not sticky. Also, you can see I'm using gloves. I have about 5 pair over here. I'm gonna use them as long as I can, but when they get sticky, resin makes a mess, so you don't want it to get anywhere. So just change your gloves if you need to. All right, we have a nice clear resin here, ready to add color and pigment. I'll put that there. And you guys can look in there. Hi. All right. So we're just going to put some in there. And we'll put a little. I try to think about how much of each color I want when I pour it in. I think that purple will be an accent color. We don't need that much. Pink. Pink and blue are like my favorite colors. And gold. And then here's our clear. I can use this container. Now I'm going to scrape it out. With the clear, we're just going to have some fun and drop the pinata paint straight in there. All right. Hi, Jessica. Hi. Can't really see it. I'll put my glasses on, but I think that's all I can see. What does it say about my face? Somebody wants to see my face, but I guess you just saw it. All right. So we'll put this down, not on the floor because my dog likes to get resin on himself. Okay, so now we have our colors here. We're gonna add our pinata paint. First I'm gonna do the purple and mix up the amounts. Okay, gold goes right there. Purple's there and pink. Okay, here we go. You're gonna take a little gold. By the way, once you reach this time, the 5 minutes of the mixing time, you do have a working time here. The working time is the time that the resin is staying nice and fluid before it begins to harden. So you definitely want to pour it before then, unless you're using some form of art where you actually want it a little bit harder and gunkier. It's a little bit more difficult to work with, but I could see reasons why you might like that. So right now we're working with the working time of 40 minutes. I would like to stay within that time, and that's usually very possible. All right. We have this beautiful gold here with the Pearl EX pigment from Art Central. Amazing stuff. I love this. I don't even I don't even think I've even used it on enough things yet. Me and these pigments, we're going places. All right, now we're gonna have some blue. Kind of just, I don't measure anything, so I don't know. If you do, I think you're awesome. I don't. So I just kind of look at it, and now I'm stirring it. I'm trying not to stir too fast still, but we are going to use the heat gun to remove the bubbles, so we're good. Oh, this beautiful blue. Reminds me of the ocean. All right, now we're going to have a little purple. I actually like a little gold in my purple. Let's see. We have a gold alcohol ink. I think I'm just going to put a drop or two in here. Shake it up. I shook these up pretty good before we started, but this one separates a little bit. Just a couple of drops in there. Oh. Then we're going to mix this up. Yeah, the colors are vibrant. They are. I agree. Pinata paint is the bomb. We're Art Central is doing a sale. Use the coupon code Hasna and go buy some so you can play around. They're pretty fun. You can use them for resin on canvas to mix with water and paint and many other ways. All right, we have this purple and gold. Kind of want a little more purple, but I'm actually going to use a different purple. A little blue violet. Sorry, I get like really lost in the color part, but that part is really fun, and you would too. Hi, Anike. Oh, I guess you're in, aren't you? Anike, Jessica, Lizzie, Mama. I know, we're having a love-in. A resin love-in. All right. This is going to be our pink. So, ooh. It's actually like a coral, and I super love it. Oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm actually seeing some coral and gold and blue right now. And that's the ocean. So we're back in the ocean. I'm going to have some purple. All right. I really love these colors. We can actually do the purple in the middle. Okay, I'm thinking out loud, sorry. This is really fun to experiment with because the colors I get now, I'm like imagining how I want to put them together, and it's getting really fun. So I'm gonna keep stirring this, And I think I'm just gonna chuck this square mold because it's boring. I mean, it's cool, but I want something a little more organic for these colors. Hi. Hi, Christina. You know, resin loving. It is. All right. Here's our much respect to this Amazon mold, but we'll see about that later. We're going to do this crazy one. That's the one that I like. All right. So this is like the exciting part because we're getting ready to pour it. All right. I am going to add a little white to this purple. And now I'm imagining in my mind like how this is really going to turn out. Ooh, that was not a little. So still going to have some gold foil. Purple is kind of cool. I might need to use this purple over here. All right. And now we're going to have the little silver foil that we put in. We're going to add a little resin to that. And stir that up. We're just kind of mixing the foil in with the resin. Letting it break up a little bit. This is so fun. Oh, you like the lavender? All right. See, everybody likes something. That's one beautiful thing about art. Even when it's not your favorite, somebody else's. How cool. All right, so I'm going to do one more crazy thing, just so you know that I'm winging it. And I'm going to add a little gold too. I want some gold flakes in there. See, I told you that they act crazy. Put them in before the resin, but you know, you make rules to break them. Ah. All right, we'll put a little in there. This is when stuff starts getting messy and crazy and good. I'm trying to keep it straight right now. All right. I'm gonna have to wipe some gold off on myself because I don't want to get mixed up. All right, here we go. All right, we're ready to pour now and start picking up the pace a little bit. So there's two ways that I pour. I could either do the outside of a couple and then go in order. Really don't like to do that. I like to do each one individually. So I'm gonna maybe scoop my table up and I'm gonna move these things out of the way. And move this up so you can see what happens here when we pour it together. Again, this is just some silicone caulk and a poster board with some shipping tape on it to make a nice smooth surface for the resin to cure on. All right, so I usually have paper towels, but I'm trying to minimize my paper towel usage. So I'm learning all the ways. All right, so I'm gonna start with the blue. And then I'm gonna go with the coral, and then I wanna do a gold in between. So that's what we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna start pouring on the outer edge here, the blue. And then I'm gonna do this coral. And then I want to do some of this gold right in the middle. I'm going to drop a little piece of gold in the middle. Nice. Now, this is definitely not the finished product, but what we are going to do actually is use one of these little syringes I got from the hardware store. And we're going to insert some gold into that. This thing is okay. If this wants to work weird, we're not going to mess with it. We'll just do it this way. All right, we're going to just pour this in between the coral and the blue. And this is with my FX powder. So in case you can tell that I'm a little bit vexed right now, it's because my table is slanted and my stuff is... All right, anyway, that's cool. We're just going to work with it. That's what it's going to look like. So now we have our color laid down. I actually do really like this color, so I'm going to keep going with that. I'm just going to do the outside of this one. And then I'm going to do the coral. You can maybe see that one a little better. And then the gold. That really looks cute. And let's just do one over here. Let's mix it up by putting the gold there right in the middle. And then let's do the coral on top of the blue. This is just, resin is kind of just a suggestion. We're suggesting some stuff here. We don't know what's going to happen. Whatever happens, it's usually pretty beautiful. And we'll see, I'm adding some little gold here. We'll see when we add the heat gun how things move around. Alrighty. Now let's try this lavender. I could use the lavender on the outside here. And I'm going to fill that up with the blue, which will look really pretty to have it the clear blue in the middle. Let's try this one where we pour the blue in the center. And then we bring that purple in. I'm going to show you guys what these are going to end up looking like. Let's put some silver on those purple ones. That's pretty. And then we have a little silver. Thank you. I know, I love the gold too. The gold is a winner. I try not to do everything gold, but kind of can't help it. There's going to be gold in something somewhere. All right, we're going to do this last one. Try to make Well, I didn't try to make a heart. I made this like weird looking heart, which I like weird looking hearts. You have to like figure out on your own that it's a heart. All right. So let's go here with the purple. Just thinking how many pieces I want. Kind of going together. Purple, blue. Now we're going to put some silver in there. All right, that's our one tray. If I really want to take the phone, okay, I'm gonna have to do a close-up before we do the heat gun because it's already looking super cool. And there's that part that I was telling you about the gold. Ooh, it looks so good. Actually, I think I'm just gonna put some of this coral in here. What the heck? See what happens. I'm just gonna put it on one side. Just gonna drip a drop in here. All right, maybe we'll do this little mold after all. All right, I'm gonna show you this. Because it's pretty cool. Oh my goodness. So, you can kind of see my hair is about to go in the resin. That's nothing new. You can kind of see how the gold like kind of mixes differently with the rest. And this isn't even like the final stage. But these are what we just poured. I'll post on my Instagram what they end up like because it's going to be very different. And actually both sides are going to be different also. All right. And then we're going to put this back in without pressing the emergency thing. What? Crazy. All right. So we're going to move that out of the way. Let me grab something. Take that. I'm going to put this on top of this little tray here so I can move it. We're going to put this over here. We're going to do the heat gun at the same time to both. This one, if you can see, awesome. Hi. We're just going to take this mold. I just wanted to kind of show what happens when we drip the alcohol in straight away. Like my friend Crystalline says, straight away. All right. So we're just going to pour that out. Get it out, get it out. Resin is precious. We don't waste. All right. So we have some in there. That over there. That there. So now we just have a clear resin coaster circle. We're going to put some colors in. Purple, blue, let's see, green, and gold. Let's just see what happens. You'll see. And we'll just do some dropping in there. And then I'll show you close up. We might do some mixing with a little stick. Oh, they look like little cells. They're so cute. Oh, I want to show you already. Do blue, some white, blue, blue. Alcohol ink is so fun. All right, this is getting crazy. Yeah, it's fun. It is so fun. I'm over here having a blast, guys. I thought you knew. All right. Oh, put a little white in there. I find that white can get a little crazy, so I'll try to keep it. I kind of just want to put the heat gun on this and see what happens. A lot of this is about some serious experimentation. Oh, we haven't put glitter in anything yet. That's super crazy. So, let's get some glitter. Do we want glitter chunks or do we want some fine glitter? Actually, does anyone have anything to say? No? I'll just grab some. Yeah, we have some gold glitter, Gold again. All right, so we're going to put a little glitter in here. And normal glitter kind of sinks to the bottom if you use body glitter, which I happen to have a whole bunch of. It's so fine, it stays suspended a lot better. So I like my body glitter. If you want it to sink, use craft glitter. If you want it to float, body glitter. All right, what we're going to do is just kind of play with this for a second with the heat gun and just see how it spreads out. Then we might mix it. Just playing around with you guys. Oh, this resin over here is looking pretty cool. All right, this is the heat gun. Let's see. Oh, you said chunks. Chunks. Okay, all of it. I agree. All the glitters. Oh! All right, let's get some chunks in there. All right. I was going to put chunks in later, but since the party people are here, we'll have chunks. So we have chunks and fine. We don't discriminate. We like it all. We like our glitter chunky. We like it fine. Just kidding. Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't know that was gonna happen. So we'll stir it a little bit. Oh my goodness, it looks so cool. I hope you can see it. Alright. Wow, it's like a really marblery. Alright. I've learned this from experience. Always be very careful where you put your heat gun down. Like, don't put it down on anything that can melt. Because it will. In fact, it's strangely enough made to sit right upright like this, which is the safest way. But if you're like me, it took some time to figure that out. All right. I'm gonna just take this down again one more time to show you this concoction that we just all made. Let me see. Let me see. Did I switch it? What did I do there? Oh, that's my dog. There we go. Okay. And there we go. It's pretty cool. If you can see the gold, it's like marbled in there. All the colors around the edge are marbled. That's going to be a pretty cool piece of resin. Take a picture of it. Oh, I don't think I can. Okay. Now we're just going to do the heat gun on the other part. Oh, wait. Is it upside down for you? Are we still on there? Okay. Hi. All right. I'm going to move this one. And then we're going to bring this one up. Do a little heat gun magic. Hold on a second. We're going to do this little set right here because we still have some resin left. I'm not wasting any resin. Not even on a demo. All right, we're going to just pour this in. These are the square ones. I'm going to go with like a centered motif where they kind of all meet in the center. And then they'll work it out once they get out how they want to arrange themselves. We're going to do the blue on the edge. It's pretty beachy. And then we're going to do some gold. Fill that up. And a lot of times with these molds, you do one layer of resin color, and then you do another glazing layer. So this can be thin as long as I get coverage. And then I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'll do a layer of clear on top of that. This is actually also, kind of love that. Looks pretty cool, and once we do our heat gun magic, it'll be nice. All right, I'll put that there. That's there. Bring this up and do everything with the heat gun at one time. And then I'm going to show you a couple of things of what it will look like when we take it out. I mean, when it's done curing. Nice to go the color really comes out when you do it. Actually, let me maybe hold it so you can see. All right. Thankfully that they have something in mind for people who do that. Okay. So watch, check this out.
you can kind of direct it where you want it to go. See, I'm bringing out the gold. And then this one, the colors will come out. You just have to get them ready. And then this one, all right. Yep, see, I almost did it again. Heat gun up. All right, so you see after the heat gun, we have some really nice color mixing. It still will change a lot before it hardens. So this is the element of surprise now. We've done this one. If you can see closely, it's like really just mixed in there. That looks super cool. Then this one will spread out some more while it dries. Okay. So that's basically it. I'm going to show you some pieces, what they look like when they're finished. Get these out of here. All right. Just going to slide these off so I can show you some finished pieces and a little bit more what I do. And then we'll be wrapping it up probably. All right, I actually like to cure my pieces in a small space. So I have a bathroom that I do it in downstairs because in the winter it's really cold and I find that the resin dries best at like 70 degrees and up. So I keep it in a little room with a little space heater and a heat lamp, and that makes sure that also there's a fan in there so it can kind of, I get ventilation, and then the resin can dry in a nice warm atmosphere where I think that it spreads really nicely. When it doesn't have when it doesn't have warmth, it takes a lot longer to dry, and I feel that it tends to be a little bit more tacky and stiff, and the colors really don't blend as much. So let's see. What else do I want to show you guys? You saw these pinata paints in action. They're pretty amazing, so don't forget. There's 30% off at Art Central till the 25th, and that's with coupon code Hasna. So you know who that is by now. Then I can show you these. I'll take my gloves off. These are some pieces that what they look like when we pop them out of the molds. I made these molds. So these are some blue ones. You can really see the colors come out different. They change a lot. So I try to keep like a color family together to make a sun catcher. This one is going to be assembled something like this. Putting them together is kind of like putting together puzzles. You have to see what looks good.
I like those together, so I'll piece them together like that. At this point, when I take them out, they're usually a little rugged. So like I mentioned, I would smooth it out with my Dremel. Shh, love that. Definitely wear a mask for that. I do that only outside. You need a mask, you need a whole outfit because you'll have um, epoxy dust everywhere and it's very, very toxic. So, mask, glasses, hair tied up, just some work clothes that you can just take off before you come inside. You don't want to bring any of that dust inside. I even use a wet dry vac next to where I'm dusting to some of the dust can just go directly in there. So we put these together. Then, like I showed you, the next step that I do is kind of use the testers, as you can see here. I like to make my edges. I paint my edges, with the tester enamel paint. That gives a really vibrant color. Some I leave natural, some I uh, paint with the glazing resin, which you can also get at Art Central. The edge is shiny. It depends on like what your color is and how your resin pane came out. But for the chimes, I really do like the gold edges and silver. So I found that the enamel paint works fantastic. And so I get this from Art Central as well. They have a bunch of colors and they're not expensive at all. They're great for little tiny projects that you need something really nice. This one is another super cool piece that we use in the wind chimes. So this is how I put them together. Then it basically at this point, I'll clean it up and add the hardware and some beads that I made. I told you when we have extra, we make some beads. So these are some little resin beads I made with the forms that I use. We can always use the little extra parts and not waste it. So instead of buying beads to put in between, I just made some. And all right, I just want to show you a couple of the finished chimes here. Oh, I have some in my window. I guess I could show you now. So since we don't have to worry about the lighting. This is one. These are available on my website, enchantedhasna.com. These can be sun catchers. Some have bells and chimes on the bottom. So I put them together. I drill little tiny holes in top and bottom. Take some rings to put them together. These are some other clay beads or clay pieces that I made and painted with enamel paint to hold those together. Let's see, I'll get some jades. Oh, well, I guess you can see them. Let's see. Yeah, this one you can see up close. You'll see the gold in this one a lot as well. That one came out really pretty, and that's like the way some of the colors move after you do the heat gun. In the time after the heat gun and before till you're dry, which could be 24 to 36, maybe 48 hours, you're going to have a couple of changes. Your resin is going to take on a little metamorphosis, and usually it is quite gorgeous. I'll show you one more. One more. All right. This is a more petite one, but still, even though it's dark, they're very vibrant up against the window. So
This is actually one of my favorites. I think that like a whole entire rainbow was captured in this last piece. I don't know how, but you know, it's a mystery to me, and I just feel really lucky to be a part of some of the magic that happens when I mix these things together. I don't really take the credit. I just put the pieces where they need to be. Um, I'll show you these little coasters. You have coasters for sale on my website as well. These are from my captured series, which are resin pieces of things that were captured during the 2020 pandemic. Instead of thinking of things so yucky, you can think of some beautiful things that we want to preserve about that time. Everybody had a lot of, sweet time to themselves, and I'm sure there are things that you want to capture and remember forever. These flowers were from my garden, and a little orange tree from the garden that made a bunch of oranges, little kumquat mandarins, and some primrose flowers, and some lavender, and some sage. And, believe it or not, it was a beautiful spring last spring, and this is what I had. So, resin is also a great medium to capture things, and that's a theme that I worked with last year a lot. So I guess this is pretty much gonna wrap up this demo, unless anyone has any questions or anything to say. I want to thank Art Central for supporting local artists and giving us this space to share, and also for, yeah, putting on these demos, because I've seen so many amazing ones. And if you tune in, you can still see some of the other ones from earlier this month, and they're still having more. So make sure you check those out. Go shopping at Art Central and Slow. Get your pinata paints for 30% off till the 25th. Take advantage of, there's a lot of other things on sale in the store, so you don't just have to get pinata paints. They have everything, and these testers are there. These powder pigments, amazing. This PBO paint, you really want to check this out. This is textured special effect paint. I have way too much fun with this. And the resin, they have a couple different kinds of resin depending on what you want to try to do. So thank you for joining me this afternoon, and I'll see you later. Thanks, Art Central. Thank you, Spencer.